Hello 180ers. So for today's short little 180 weekly tip, I really want to discuss something I think is of utmost importance for you if you're wanting this journey to be lifelong. And I have to tell you, that is my absolute passion. What I mean is I want you to leave this experience in doing the 180 with me feeling empowered, feeling like you really know and are confident in your ability to continue the rest of your life living in a fit, strong, healthy body. And that's my ultimate goal. So I always say I don't want to be the trainer who just shows up and here's a great workout and we have fun together and you get some results, you feel a little bit stronger. Here's a great meal plan, eat this, it'll help you fuel your body to reach the goals we're working so hard for, and then leave. Because as I look at my own personal fitness journey, my own business journey, my own life's journey, I know that that's just a small portion of it. Now, those are important. You can't reach fitness goals without those things. You have to have them. But without what I'm going to talk about today, they can be very short-lived. And that's because the reality is the majority of you, if not all of you, when we first sit down and talk and we go over your goals, the one thing I hear over and over again in one way or another is, I've lost my confidence. Now, you may be completely confident in business. You may know you own the stage in leadership. You may feel like you're an amazing parent and you're confident in that ability. But those things are separate from feeling confident in, I know that I can feed my body correctly. I know that I can trust myself to be consistent. I know that I can overcome temptation to be able to really live the best life I want in this body that I have. Whatever that may look like to you as an individual. Having that confidence is what allows you to overcome temptation day after day, month after month, year after year, to not go back to the old habits that got you sitting in front of me wanting a trainer. So I feel that if I truly want to empower you to make lifelong fitness choices and be empowered to do this the rest of your life, then I need to equip you with the deeper tools as well. And so that's what I want to do today. We're actually going to talk about self-confidence and how to build it with yourself so that all those demons that you probably already experienced in the short time we've been training together and the short time you've had the goal to get back on track fitness-wise are quieted, and you can stand boldly in a new identity of somebody who is fit and strong and can accomplish whatever they want in that area. And then I promise you, as you apply this in your area for fitness goals, it will bleed over into the rest of your life and your other personal goals as well. I promise you. So the thing that we have to realize in this lack of self-confidence is, well, let's just put it this way. In all my years of working with people as a personal trainer and working with people in business coaching, in training, marketing executives and sales executives, those people who are truly confident. Now, I don't mean cocky. I don't mean egotistical. I mean confident and carry themselves that way. What it boils down to is this: self-trust. They have a self-personal reputation with themselves, and that allows them to carry themselves with confidence and know that they can accomplish anything that's put before them. So when we look at ourselves in this fitness arena with that, the problem is we have these little demons, if you will, of the past that come up and say, oh, Alicia, you know you've always X, Y, and Z, so you'll never really be able to X, Y, and Z. And in the heat of the moment of trying to make a healthier decision and get rid of bad habits that don't serve me and replace them with good habits that get me to where I want, in the heat of that moment, the moment of decision, the valley of decision, if you will, if I don't know how to quiet those demons with a new truth, eventually, maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, but eventually they will overcome me and I will fall to self-sabotage and I'll go right back to my old habits, losing any ground I had before. So what my goal is to help equip you with tools that will allow you to have a truth that will overcome all those past situations so that you now can have a new identity in yourself because you've built self-trust, because you have a new self-reputation that you are working to keep up with and to honor. So what I want to do is, this is a pretty deep subject of self-confidence and how to gain it. I also am very hands-on, and I want to give you practical application of each thing we talk about. So actually to-dos to go do after you watch the video. I promise you, if you actually take action with these steps and you do so consistently, you will find yourself in a completely different place a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road. You will feel like a whole new you. I promise you that. I know that because it's true. I'm living proof. My life is living proof that these are very powerful tools that I'm going to share with you that can take you from unconfident, self-doubting, feeling like a failure to a whole new identity. Let's talk about what we first have to deal with. I'm going to actually create a whole series of videos that are going to go over this, and I'm going to give you a little assignment with each one of them. So this is just number one, right? We'll do more to really deep dive into this. But the first thing that we have to address is the fact that research shows that our brains will always look for ways to prove the truth we think. So as humans, we want to be congruent with who we are, what we think, what we do. We really want that congruency. And so when we have a truth, our brain will actually look for evidence of how it is true, so that we have evidence to prove that we're congruent with truth and our thoughts. So in this situation, when I'm standing in the valley of decision and it's the weekend and maybe I'm going out with girlfriends, or maybe we're having a family movie night, and I'm tempted with my old habits of go out with your girlfriends, have a plate of hors d'oeuvres and a drink. Or I'm tempted with my old habit of it's movie night and this is important family time, and so we're gonna snuggle and have popcorn and ice cream and it's all good because tomorrow I'm gonna, right? So those are the valley decision. In order to change those habits, I have to have tools to get away from those and do something different. And if what happens is in the valley decision, the truth of my past comes up and says, well, Alicia, we all know that in reality, you never make it past 4 weeks of being consistent anyways. And you don't get to go out with your girlfriends, but every couple months. So what is it gonna matter? You can go out today, have a couple drinks, have some hors d'oeuvres, have some fun. Your goals will always be there. You can pick it up later because you're not gonna stick with it for 4 weeks anyways. Have this fun, get back on the wagon later on, okay? And that might be true. Maybe I never have stuck with anything consistently for over 4 weeks. And so now I have to have a tool to be able to battle that, because this lack of confidence comes down to lack of personal trust. I don't trust myself to say, that's not true. I can't overcome this. I can actually go out with my girlfriends and just have a spritzer, lemon water. Just have, a salad with this dressing on the side. I can do that because I've done it in the past. The problem is, if our past hasn't been that, we don't have the truth piece to take into battle with us, right? That's our tool, is the truth piece. So what I want to do is give you tools of how to raise your personal reputation with yourself. So one of the things we've got to do is we've got to prove yourself to yourself. So I want you to take some time after this video, and I want you to think through some of your past stumbling places. Like maybe it is consistently going to the gym, or inconsistently going to the gym, as the case may be. And you know that if I did these 5 things consistently, stay on my food plan, go to the gym, don't drink on the weekend, whatever it is, right? I would get to the end goal that I'm working for. They would definitely help me with that. And write down pick a few things, just a few. These things I know that if I changed, that they are the things that in the past have kept me from being able to reach my goal. And if I change them this time around, I will reach my goal. Now, those are big goals. Let's say being consistent with going to the gym. That's a big goal that will also lead you to your bigger goal, right? We can't tackle these big goals all at once. What we need to do to prove yourself to yourself is create small daily wins, little incremental proofs to yourself day in and day out that grow like compound interest in building up your personal reputation. Because the stronger your reputation is, the more confident you're going to be. And that's your reputation with yourself. We're not talking about outside kudos. We're not talking about what we think other people are thinking about us. We're talking about you. In the moment of truth, who do I really think I am? Do I think I'm the person who gets up and goes to the gym early in the morning because I know that I have to do it then to be consistent and I'm not going to fail on my goals? Or am I the person that I think puts it off into the evening? I always fool myself thinking I can do it later. It never gets done and I just give up. What is my personal reputation with myself? So what we're going to do is we're going to say, now, if I wanted to actually be the person that I'd like to be in the end of this goal, have those goals reached, these are the things I know I'd have to change. Now, to get to that, say, being consistent with going to the goal, or going to the gym, what are some tiny little incremental things I know I could do? What are small promises I know I could keep for myself that would help me with that goal? So maybe what happens, and this happens with so many people, is they plan on, going, they plan out their workouts, they have their time all set aside, they know they've got a plan in place, they're really excited, and then they come home from work and they get home and this needs to be done, that needs to be done, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm just gonna look at Facebook for 30 minutes, relax, wind down, and then go to the gym. I'm gonna cook dinner first, then clean up, then I'll go. All these things that end up happening where the frustration of feeling like I don't really have the time, I got too busy, I ended up being too tired, those frustrations that in the past kept you from continuing to be consistent are now gonna get in the way and erode that self-confidence again. And they're gonna rewrite the story of, but I always fail at this point. But if we can come in and say, okay, so those were the frustrations that kept me from being consistent. What can I do to avoid them? What small promise can I make to myself today to avoid that frustration? And in avoiding that frustration, I'm building a brick towards being consistent with this goal. So example, a suggestion here would be, every night I will promise to myself that I will pack my gym bag and put it in the car. So that on the way home from work, I don't even have to come home. I just go straight to the gym, I spend my 45 minutes, and then I come home. Now I don't have all of those little distractions when I get in the door. But my habit has always been to listen to them instead of getting up and going and doing what I need to do when it's hard. So if we remove the hard parts and we just have to make the straight trip to the gym, we've now removed that and we can keep the small promise every night before I go to bed. This is your promise to yourself. I am the type of person who packs my gym clothes and puts it in my car. That's your small promise. Everybody can find the 5 minutes. I do it every night. I have to. Every night I find my clothes for the next day. Every night. And then I don't have to think about it. I don't lay in bed. This is me. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to wear. I think I'm going to lay here for 5 minutes thinking about it so that when I get up out of bed, I can just do it. Like, these are lies I tell myself. I'm just being honest with you. Those are lies that keep me from my goals. I will fail every time. 6 times out of 10, I'm gonna fall back asleep. There's gonna be 15 minutes. Then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get up and go, oh, now I only have X amount of time and that's not enough time for a full workout. So what I'm gonna do is tonight, and those things never happen. We wanna avoid that. So for me to avoid that, I pack my gym bag every night. My gym bag goes in my car. And when I come home from my clients, when I'm going in between, with that spot of gym time for me, if my stuff is already there, there's no reason not to go. I go, I get it done. If I come home, it's not getting done. I have a gym here at my house And if I come home, it's not getting done, okay? So that would be an example of how to take my big goal of I need to be consistent in the gym because I know if I was, I'd reach my goal. And then it's going to take that from what time, like I can't do that overnight, but what I can do is the tiny step that anybody can keep of the 5-minute promise to myself is I'm the person who, fill in the blank, packs my bag every night and puts it in the car so that I can go to the gym the next day. Now, the goal, the promise isn't I'm the person who goes to the gym every day. The promise is I'm the person who does the thing that will keep me from the frustration that I generally struggle with. Over time, as you every day keep this promise to yourself, you will build into that self-trust bank account, okay? That self-trust bank account will then allow you to withdraw and add more in. You can now pick bigger things because pretty soon that consistency becomes your habit. Pretty soon you now are the person who always goes to the gym. Why? Because we did the small incremental thing first that led to the bigger goal being reached. Now you can look on your list of things and say, what next can I tackle? I suggest you start with the simplest one. When you make that list of things you know you need to change and you come up with things that you feel like you could keep your promise about, pick the simplest one first. Because this is about building a reputation with yourself. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. Don't self-sabotage. Pick something as simple as the 5 minutes it's going to take to throw your gym clothes in the bag and go put it in the car. If it's about me showing up and you know, gosh, half the time I get home and I'm too tired and I want to send Alicia a text and say, hey, can we change this? One of the reasons you guys prepay me is because it keeps you accountable to you. It's my best way to make sure that you don't want to waste that money, because if you're prepaid and you're going to lose out on the money, you're less likely to fall prey to those lies and past habits that kept you from what your goals are that you've told me you want. But secondly, if you just know when I come home and I set my bag down, the trigger is walk immediately in the bedroom and put on my clothes so I don't have time to think about contacting Alicia because I'm kind of just this tonight. Or I wake up in the morning and I think, oh, I gotta lay here and think of my clothes. And I just like to text Alicia and tell her, today's not gonna be good, don't show up at 5 in the morning. Have your clothes ready, okay? So that's my challenge to you. Now, what this action step that I'm giving you, I learned from Ed Milet. He's one of my favorites. I learned a lot from him. And so the action step I'm giving you, I learned from him. You guys might want to look him up. He's got lots of great stuff. But that's your challenge, okay? Now, next we're going to talk about how do I start to erase those crazy thoughts? What are some quick practical applications I can apply while I'm adding to this compound interest? It's not going to be overnight that I pack my gym bag once so now I have self-trust. It's going to take a couple days, a couple weeks before you feel like, oh yes, I am the person who does. Now I can add on to that. So how can I help you help yourself in that interim as well? What small practical steps can you do to really fuel this little step we're taking today? So you guys, what I want you to do is spend the next few days doing this. By next Monday, I want you to have decided what your first promise to yourself is going to be. I want you to send it to me, and then we can be accountability partners through this so that I can help you and your partnership with 180 Fitness in a way that you're confident and you're excited and you feel like you can move on. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. I hope you do take action with this, and I can't wait to see how your life changes because you do.